Hi, gorgeous Librans. Welcome to December 2018. I can't believe we're here. And I have a feeling that looking back over this year, it's kind of overwhelming at times. The amount of information that came in, the amount of things that washed in and then washed out, the amount of experiences you had where it felt as though you're still making sense of them. That's one of my big overarching themes for December, is that this isn't a month to rush. This isn't a month to get to conclusions, jump to conclusions. I mean, we're still in post shadow from your ruling planet retrograde. Venus is retrograde. That did end in November, but the post shadow goes till December 19th, where it stations where it really began back in September. So, you already have the first 3 weeks of this month really still incorporating from the Venus retrograde, still learning things. We have a Mercury retrograde that is happening for the first week of the month. For you, it's interesting too, because December starts off with a kind of a bang, because Venus, your ruling planet, is opposing Uranus and Aries. So Venus is in Libra, is there with you right at the last degree or something like that. And then Uranus is last degree of Aries, and they're opposing, just being like, boom, wake up, everybody. Like, let's revolutionize again. Let's get connected with this energy. Before I get back more into astrology, I want to mention two things, your note, and also that I have year ahead forecasts. I'm going to leave the link for that in the Vimeo. We talk about the astrology aspects. We also pull some cards. So if you're interested in that, check that out. I really put some thought into that, and I'm really excited to share that with you so that you feel empowered for 2019. You feel invigorated, excited, and inspired and imaginative about it. Okay. I was really thinking about you guys a lot. It took me a while. I was sitting with Libran energy, just like, what is going on with you guys? Because I couldn't quite put my finger on it. It was like, you're here, you're there. And then I realized that this month is a month of like waking up from an enchantment a little bit. Starting with that December 1st Uranus opposition to your ruling sign Venus in your sign. Four of Cups came up, which for me, this is a wake-up call. This is always the awakening from the enchantment, but you have to choose to awaken, right? And what do I mean by waking up from an enchantment? If you've ever read the classic Snow Queen fairy tale, not the Frozen version at all, but like the classic version, there's a brother and a sister, and the brother gets enchanted by the Snow Queen and disappears and goes off, and the sister decides to go look for him. And as she's looking for him, she finds this wonderful, sweet judgment. Wow, you guys. This wonderful, sweet cottage with this wonderful, sweet woman, and all the roses are in bloom and everything is beautiful. And she's welcomed in, and she's given a place to rest on her journeys. Chariot. Okay. We have some movement, you guys. We have some movement. She's given a place to rest on her journey, and she ends up being enchanted, and time stops. Or time keeps going on in the rest of the world, but she's just there. Enchanted by like the look and the beauty and the sweetness, Knight of Wands, of this space. So much so that she forgets what she was actually here to do. She forgets her natural state, Knight of Cups. Those two are coming out a lot for the end of the year, new beginning. It's just, they're around. Really interesting. And eventually she snaps out of it. Something happens. I can't remember. Maybe her finger gets pricked by a thorn. 10 of Wands. And she remembers that she has this beautiful thing she needs to do. She remembers that she has this value that she has to add. She remembers her purpose and her soul and her calling. And while you're not maybe in an enchanted rose garden having that happen, I feel like there's something about the Astra this month and the energy this month where it's like Libra, you're getting that little zing awake. It's partially because I was looking, Cardinal energy is going through some really interesting morphing at the moment. There's so much energy with you guys, with the cardinal signs, all 4 of you this month. So it's zinging all of you. If it's not in your opposite or your sign, it's in your squared signs. Like for you, you have a lot of energy in Cancer and Capricorn this month, and that is going to challenge you to wake up to stuff. Queen of Wands, beautiful. So like for example, we have that opposition on December 1st. We have Mercury going retro into Scorpio on the 1st as well. So Scorpio energy for you is second house, money, value, how you value yourself and your time. Venus then moves forward on the 2nd into Scorpio. More of your ruling planet. What do you love? What do you value? What's working for you? You're still incorporating what you learned from that Venus retrograde. And all of this work that's going on the first half of this month, the first 3 weeks of this month, really, till we hit Capricorn season, is you calibrating. The other note I had is that, this is, as you're waking up and as you're remembering who you are, you're remembering that you're not just here to make everybody else comfortable. You're not here to Emperor, Aries energy. You're not here to do any of that work for other people. You're incorporating that, and as you're waking up into that, one of the things that's happening there is, soul and body re-merging, so that the two are working together in tandem, in concert, so that you don't feel that kind of sense of out of placeness, out of sync that maybe was happening. Like you might have been putting a lot of externalized energy out there, and the first 3 weeks of this month, they're kind of like, take a breath. I mean, Sag season is great for Librans. It's very communicative, playful, flirty, investigative. And normally, with a Sag season, I'd be like, ooh, yes, this is a great time. Mercury's going to go direct on the 6th and then move into Sagittarius on the 12th. We have a new moon in Sagittarius. This is all fantastic energy for you Librans out there. It's all very invigorating and very communicative, but underneath that kind of desire for electricity, for action, for movement, especially from what you get from December 1st, is tempered by this deeper thing going on with you, where you just want to find that fusion place again of your soul and your body. Wisdom is very simple, and it never is going to take you on roundabout logical circuits where you're looking for answers in these very complex, discombobulated storylines. Wisdom is going to give you very simple clues to how to move forward in life, and I think that you're going to be noticing that. Now, when we hit into Capricorn season on the 22nd, 21st, we are also on the 22nd getting a full moon in Cancer at 0 degrees of Cancer. And this is another doorway full moon. And it's really powerful for the cardinal signs. For you, it is this huge moon that is calibrating your 4th and your 10th house, your internal home world and your career externalized world. And there's so much power in that. And that's what I'm saying with soul and body. For me, like 4th and 10th house, the moon in your career sector and the sun in your internal space, having those two there, it's like, how are you going to honor both of these? You're going to honor them by kind of remembering who you are, remembering your soul journey, remembering how that works through your body in ways that do not involve pain, do not involve zigzags, do not involve morphing and fogginess and changing your identity and being a chameleon, but instead just taking a breath and simplicity. So now let's talk about these cards, because there's a lot going on, you guys. I think Capricorn season is going to be beautiful for you. I think that's actually where the energy is going to start to feel easier, even though generally speaking, Sag energy flows with you a little bit better. It moves with you a little bit better, and it's a little bit more in sync with you. Capricorn season is actually going to feel, I think, more solid. Like you can move on things, like you can move through the world on things. Now, I mean, we got to talk about these first 2 cards, because here's the wake up. And here's where this Mercury retrograde doing its last week and the Venus post-shadow phase is doing its work. And it's really important not to skip over this. I think we all feel the relief that we've had some revelations over the last few months. It's been intense, and we're like, okay, it's done. Let's just move on and have fun. Let's go to the party. But I'm cautioning all the signs, really, like, just don't rush that. Don't rush this moment here. This is a really beautiful moment. And if you take this moment, it can actually give you all the gifts you need and all the firepower you need to close out 2018, open 2019, so powerful. And Librans, this is the enchantment breaking. And the enchantment seems beautiful, maybe, it seems productive, but really what it's doing is it's holding you in place. So you're looking at that. So maybe you will feel held in place. Maybe you will feel you can't communicate what you want. Maybe you will feel that you can't move on everything you want to move on before the end of the year. However, it's a time to listen. And what we're listening into is letting go of any old ways of doing things, any old ways of doing homework. With you guys, I feel like sometimes you take it on your shoulders to do your homework. Like, I am going to learn how to be more balanced and and be more communicative in the right ways, and to be more in touch with my emotions, and to be more intuitive and listen to my inspired actions. I'm going to do it. I'm determined to do it. And you make it homework. And as soon as you make it that kind of homework, that rigid homework where you feel that because you're so brilliant, we want to harness your mind in a way that is more useful for you. And the judgment energy here is telling me, you may have felt that you haven't done all your homework and you haven't done it thoroughly enough. Let that go. Let go anything that's not serving you anymore. And that includes the way you're framing the work, the spiritual work you're doing in the world. Because one of the ways we kind of get ourselves locked up is when we make it into a to-do list, because it just doesn't work. And it holds us, and then it's really frustrating, right? So this energy right here is an invitation to be reborn. This energy here is an invitation to take that harness off yourself. You're not a Taurus. You are a Libran. And Libran energy, you're not supposed to have harnesses on. Come on, people. The other thing that's going on here I have to mention is, we have Saturn and Pluto working through Capricorn steadily and slowly and surely as ever, and that will continue into 2019, but it's here in the astro in December, and Pluto is very associated with judgment, with this idea of rebirth and transformation, and it's in this fourth house energy, this other cardinal energy of shift. Now, if you are willing to take that breath and you are willing to just let go of that homework and just chill out a little bit, understand that wisdom is simple. What you need to know is simple. As soon as you do that, we get some clarity. We get this open window. We get this movement forward. I do think the new moon will be a nice feeling for you. I do think you're going to start to see your way forward. I think the fog is going to clear. The enchantment is going to clear. But give yourself that first week for sure. And as you release that pressure you're putting on yourself to have it all figured out, it comes and meets you. The answer comes and meets you in this beautiful, clean, crisp way with the Chariot and the Knight of Wands. And I love this for you guys because the Chariot's been showing up a lot as well. It does make a nod to the Cancer full moon. That is going to be such a directional, focused, and I think everybody's going to be feeling it. It's going to be intense, but the thing that's going to feel so good about it is that it's clear. The road is clear. Suddenly, it makes sense. Suddenly, you can see where you're going to put your path, where you're going to put your foot on the path. You have a path. You know what it is. You know why it matters to you. You know why it feels good to you. And in comes some fresh surge of energy. Now, Knight of Wands is a little bit of a troublemaker, so watch that one. This can be a fiery, fun personality, somebody who's bringing in new inspiration, new ideas, new nuggets of information, a lot of energy. The words that came to mind with me for your reading was electricity and nerves, and that zinging awake. And while we have this deeper, more profound shift and transformation and revelation going on, we also have the zinging and the excitement and the nerves and the new beginnings, and I really get that for you guys. Now, the way to harness this kind of electrical, excited energy, this kind of, oh, I see it now. Okay, now I know what to do. Take a breath. Take a breath. Because you may see the path and you may get the new infusion. You may get the new lover. You may get the new excitement, which, have we talked about the Knight of Cups yet as the new lover? This is very romantic. This is very expressive. I think Knight of Cups energy for Librans, yes, this is what we want for you guys, because it's about the beautiful things in life. It's about what really, art matters, right? Knight of Cups understands the logic that we do everything we do to express ourselves, to feel connected, to feel deeply. And art and the beautiful things in life and the beautiful ideas and reading and thinking and creating and connecting the dots is such a beautiful thing. And if you're going to have energy coming in, it better get that. But you are going to feel really hungry and really eager for this next path because it's felt foggy, because it's felt weird, because you have sustained loss, because it hasn't always been clear for you. And so you're going to want to just bite into it and like run with it. Now, here's the thing. This is where this 10 of Wands comes in. That could make you feel really scarce. You know, it's a funny thing when we start to get what we want and we start to get this movement, we start to get the path and we get the infusion of the romance, the excitement and the ideas and the new people and the new doors opening and everything's moving. And it's like one side effect we can have after a time of hunger is even more hunger, and it feeds on itself and it starts to actually become an energetic blockage again. So you want to remember that this is an unfolding. So you're going to get one step and take a breath. And if you're not careful, you could start to make it homework again. You could start to put that, I'm going to do this the best I can do this. I'm going to make this one work. I'm going to make this situation work. I'm going to be the best I can be at this. It could start to feel really heavy. So one thing to check in with throughout this month is when you start to feel that heaviness, when you start to feel that seriousness, take a breath. And take your mind off the subject. Do something very simple. Because this 10 of Wands energy will burn you out like that. And we don't want that, Libra. There's no reason to do that, right? The other thing with the 10 of Wands is we are putting down old things that aren't serving us from 2018. We are putting down things that are no longer serving us from the Venus retrograde, from the Mercury retrograde, from all the retrogrades that happened this year, including the Mars retrograde, which was, I think, hit a lot of us in ways we didn't even realize had hit us until we're looking back. There were so many retrogrades this year, so much invitation to release, and you're incorporating that, which is part of the reason why you're seeing the next path. There's a lot of fire in your future, Librans, which I love because fire and air, come on, we get along. We have so much fun. Fire and air is a fantastic combo of ideas and inspiration and action and playfulness. You know, we just know how to fuel each other. And Queen of Wands, Emperor, this is very Leo and Aries energy. This is very relational energy. This is very much about the energy I see around you. It's intense, right? Like Queen of Wands and Emperor are pretty intense energies. They're very passionate. They're very driven. They're very focused. They have a vision for what they're doing and how they want to do it. They're very in it, right? But I think that is going to be so comforting for you, Librans, because I do feel like it has been a lot of touch and go. It's been a lot of questionable, foggy stuff. If you have Queen of Wands, Emperor energy around you, the thing that I'm getting with that, it doesn't even have to be fire signs, right? This can be any energy, but the qualities that are here are people who show up time and again and are very adamant about meaning what they say and really showing up for it. And I think you guys need that around you right now. Pay attention to the people who show up with this kind of dedication and focus, with this kind of passion for creating and doing and making plans and following those plans through. Pay attention to where you're noticing those people showing up, because those are the people that are going to make you feel good. Unlike, I think, people in your past who were bringing up this pain that we were talking about at the beginning of the month. This kind of feeling like nothing's ever set in stone, nothing's ever really sticking with you. Like there's always this haunted, hungry feeling that it's not quite there. By the end of the month, you are focusing on those things that really show up. You know, when you have people around you like this and you have experiences around you like this, it is such a helpful way to learn how to take this burden off your shoulders, where you don't have to play the guard over every situation all the time, where you don't have to play the referee all the time, where you don't have to play that role where you feel responsible for keeping it all together. People in our lives that aren't really showing fully up with us, when we're not showing fully up for ourselves, we bring people in who don't fully show up for us. It leaves us feeling very scattered. It leaves us feeling very heavy. Our energy gets lower. And it feeds into this not showing up for ourselves because other people aren't showing up for us, and it just mirrors back over and over and over again. And when you have people in your life who are really showing up, it just takes that away. And I can feel this sense of being able to breathe. I think the last couple weeks of this year are going to be really powerful and really helpful in helping all of us heal. But you Librans, I'm loving that you're having this infusion of passion and creativity and warmth and connectedness that I think is so important for you right now, to feel that connectedness and to feel that safety and to feel that consistency. And yes, this could be a very romantic month eventually, but that is for those of you who are kind of lining that up and taking that time. And if it's not about romance, this is about amazing work projects. This is about amazing friendships. This is about amazing progress on a project that maybe you've been waffling on and you feel very connected to. There's certainty here. It goes from fog and the river Styx into like this brilliant, intense certainty. So really enjoy that, you guys. I'm going to close it out there. I love you so much. I will leave my info if you want to do a private session or you'd like to ask me a question. I am booking a few months in advance, so keep that in mind as you connect with me. And also, I will leave the Vimeo link for those year aheads. Go check it out. It's really fun. It's a fun way to connect in with the energies and see where you want to take 2019. I love you so much, and I will see you for January and all the bright surprises in store for us there.